Boa noite, senhor Vinícius. Boa noite, pessoal. Boa noite. Tudo bem? Como estão as coisas por aí? Já já o nosso convidado vai aparecer. Muita gente entrando, muito legal. Boa noite. Imagino que estão todos curiosos para saber um pouquinho do nosso convidado Roddy, um pouquinho do projeto novo dele, alguns temas importantes serão falados aqui hoje. E eu gostaria de convidar vocês a fazerem algumas perguntas para o nosso convidado. Agora são 9 horas, horário do Brasil, 8 horas nos Estados Unidos. São todos fãs do nosso convidado? Boa noite, tudo bem? Hoje nós vamos conversar com o Roddy Bottum, foi tecladista da banda Faith No More. Agora está com um projeto novo chamado Man on Man. Nos últimos dias, e ele vai contar isso pra gente, tivemos alguns problemas com o clipe postado online. Aparentemente a internet corrigiu-se e o clipe foi repostado. Ele vai contar pra gente direitinho o que foi que aconteceu. Quem aí lembra da música Epic? Essa eu me lembro bem. Também tinha Easy. Onde será que está o nosso convidado? Nosso editor, Vinícius de Amada, está online junto com a gente. Boa noite, boa noite. Já somos praticamente 80 participantes curiosos. Estamos aqui mandando uma mensagenzinha para ele. Acho que agora foi. Vamos ver.
Yay!
Yay! Good evening. How are you guys?
Good.
What time is it? Where are you exactly? Which city?
We're in California.
I don't have sound.
You don't?
Hold on. Hi.
Hello.
There we go.
Better.
Hi.
Good. How are
We're
you?
in California. We're in a small beach town. It's called Oxnard. It's like 50 miles north of Los Angeles.
All right.
And it's we're staying at a house that my mom has. We came out here when the coronavirus hit. So we've been staying here pretty much for the past couple months.
All right. When you give me the answer, I'll translate it really quick for Portuguese.
Okay.
We'll try to keep our answers short too.
Yeah. Então eu perguntei para eles de onde eles estão falando. Eles estão falando de uma pequena cidade, 50 milhas ao norte de Los Angeles, chamada Oxnard. E eles foram para lá em função do coronavírus e lá estão, né? For starters, I would like to introduce you guys, of course. So I'm talking to Roddy Bottum. I would like to know how do I say the pronunciation of your surname? That was something I was thinking. How do I say your surname?
My surname is Bottum. It's like
Bottum.
Yeah.
The pronunciation is Bottum. All right.
That's right.
All right.
And this
Roddy
is Joey.
Bottum, and
Joey's last name is
Joey
Holman.
Holman.
Yes.
All right. So Roddy, you were the keyboardist of Faith No More.
Yep, I still am.
You still are.
Yeah.
And you're now in a new project called Man on Man, which is a duo you're doing with your boyfriend, right?
Correct.
Right. Nice. Eu conversei com ele aqui agora rapidinho e ele me contar aqui dizendo pra gente que tá num projeto novo com o namorado chamado Man on Man. Ele vai contar um pouquinho aqui pra gente. The first question I would like to ask you is how you guys are holding up everything that's going on nowadays in America. I think that's something that we can start. It's a lot of things we're seeing here in television, and what's your perspective on what's happening?
I think we are, like most people who are here, we're inspired, we're scared, we're invigorated, we're hopeful. We celebrate the fact that all 4 police officers are in jail who had a hand in killing George Floyd. We celebrate that. We've got a long, long way to go, but we believe firmly that Black lives matter, Black voices matter, and we are looking at what's happening in our country, and we are inspired, and we think we're going in the right direction. And I think mostly we're hopeful and we're invigorated. I think it would be silly to say that we weren't scared and we weren't, a little bit. Yeah, I guess I think fear is on everybody's mind right now, but I think more than anything we're invigorated.
Nice. Então, a primeira pergunta que eu fiz para eles foi para começar a nossa conversa, como é que está o clima, como é que eles estão se sentindo, como é que são as perspectivas em relação a tudo que está acontecendo nos Estados Unidos, em relação ao que aconteceu com o George Floyd e até em relação à pandemia. E eles disseram que eles estão otimistas e eles estão com uma sensação de uma perspectiva de se revigorar diante de tudo isso. Novas coisas acontecerão e eles estão otimistas de que a conclusão dos fatos será muito positiva e que já tem muitos policiais e pessoas envolvidas nessa história que já estão sofrendo as devidas consequências disso, né? Eles fizeram questão de enfatizar o hashtag Black Lives Matter, que nós aqui do Gay Blog endossamos absolutamente, né? So regarding Brazil, you've been to Brazil in 2011, right? So since we're talking to Brazil fans, what would be your memory of Brazil, of the Brazil crowd, of something that your memory remembers you of Brazil and of our country?
I went there for the first time in the 90s to Rio with my band Faith No More, and we played a handful of shows. We went down there primarily to play Rock in Rio, and it was the biggest stadium in the world in Rio. You know that stadium?
Yep.
And it was televised live, and we'd never been to Brazil before. So it was crazy because we played that show, and I think we played before Guns N' Roses. So a lot of people were watching on TV, and like overnight, we became like famous in Brazil just because so many people were watching TV. And it was a real special time. And also on that trip, I got to meet Prince.
Oh, alright. Ele disse que vieram para o Brasil em 1990 no Rock in Rio e que foi uma experiência absolutamente incrível, porque era um lugar gigantesco, com milhões de pessoas, e eles tiveram a oportunidade de tocar antes, acho que foi antes que ele disse, antes do Guns, e estava sendo televisionado, e a sensação dele é que da noite para o dia as pessoas passaram a adorar eles e curtir a banda e conhecer eles, e que isso foi muito maravilhoso. Inclusive, ele acabou de contar que conheceu o Prince nessa ocasião. And how was Prince? Is he so amazing as we think he is?
He was, I saw him at a club, and I went to the club, and there was like a, how you say, velvet rope. Do you know what that means? He was in a VIP area in a club.
All right.
And
yeah.
so I saw him sitting, and I'm a huge fan, and there was a big man like in a chair outside of the rope, and I went up to him and I said, "Can I speak with Prince?" And the man looked at me. I told him I was in a band. We played Rock in Rio, and I just wanted to say hi to Prince. So he went over to Prince and goes like, and Prince looked at me, and then he looked at the guy and he went. So they moved the rope, and I got to go in and I spoke to him. The first thing I noticed is he smelled like lavender, like a beautiful smell. And he had a really quiet, pretty, girly voice. And he like batted his eyelashes, and I swear he was flirting with me.
Então eu perguntei para ele, o Prince era tão incrível quanto a gente, enfim, acha que ele é, acompanhou a carreira dele, o que você me diz dessa história? Ele acabou de me contar que eles foram à noite numa festa e que tinha uma área VIP e que ele falou com o segurança e falou, pediu para o segurança, eu gostaria de dar uma palavrinha com o Prince, será que poderia conhecer o Prince? E que o segurança foi lá, falou no ouvido do Prince, que o Prince olhou ele meio que de cima a baixo e só fez assim com a cabeça, do tipo, esse é dos meus, me parece, né? E que ele entrou, conversou com o Prince, que o Prince tinha um perfume de lavanda maravilhoso e era uma pessoa muito querida e bateram papo e fizeram uma boa conexão naquele momento e ele adorou conhecer o Prince, né? Did you get to know any Brazilian singer, band, or song that, I mean, in your life that you think that you like?
Yeah, I love Tim Maia a whole lot. He's my favorite. I also love Xuxa quite a bit.
All right. What do you like about? Did you? Wait, just a second. Signal. Just a second. Can you see me? All right. Because for me the signal was a little bit bad here. All right. Perguntei para ele de que artistas que ele gostava. Ele falou que gostava do Tim Maia. All right.
What's your name?
My name is Joaquim.
Joaquim. Hey, Joaquim.
Yes. Joaquim.
Where are you now?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in São Paulo.
Cool.
All right.
I like your glasses.
Thank you.
They're nice. I like round glasses.
Yeah, I like round glasses too.
A lot of people are doing very big, thick ones still, and I love a nice wire frame. It looks very nice.
I'm trying to look a little bit more smart, I think.
Yeah.
Ele disse que me perguntou meu nome, da onde eu era, e elogiou meus óculos, falou que os óculos eram bonitinhos. Score. All right. Tell us a little bit about Man on Man. I think everybody's very curious about that.
Man on Man. Glad you asked. Man on Man is a celebration of our love. We started it in the middle of the lockdown, the quarantine that everybody around the world is a part of. And it was really kind of born out of a long drive we did across the country. New York is very far northeast in America, and we went to Southern California, so we drove all the way across the country. And we knew as artists that our place in all of this was just to keep creating. And so we got a few really simple pieces of music gear, and we decided to start there simply, and we started making it.
All right.
I know you have to translate that, so I'll keep it simple.
Yeah. Então eu perguntei para eles, fala um pouquinho do projeto Man on Man, e ele começa dizendo que é um projeto feito de amor, né? Começou a dar todas essas questões de isolamento e de quarentena, então eles resolveram, tiveram que se isolar, e, bom, o projeto fala de como é importante manter alguma coisa acesa, a criatividade acesa, mesmo diante de momentos difíceis. Então eles juntaram o que ele está chamando de alguns gears, né, alguns equipamentos, né, vou perguntar para ele em seguida como é que foi esse processo, e começaram a experimentar, e o projeto foi surgindo. When you say that you gathered up some gears, can you be more specific? You mean like with instruments, and how did you cope with the idea that you wouldn't have a proper studio or something like that?
We kept it super simple, but we recorded and wrote everything that we've created so far in this house, right upstairs from where we are right now. It's my mom's house, and upstairs there's a piano that I grew up playing. So we knew on the way out here we had that. We had the piano. We also had Joey's guitar. But all we did was order like a keyboard thing to help us and a microphone to sing in. And we had that sent to this house. So when we got here, we had that, and we set it up, and we just started writing songs.
So we only had an upright piano, electric guitar, acoustic guitar,
and a microphone.
That's literally it. Yeah.
Piano, guitar, and keyboard.
Yeah.
All right. Então eu perguntei para eles como é que foi o processo, né, de criação, tendo em vista que eles estavam dentro de casa, não estavam num estúdio, né, propriamente dito. E eles falaram que começaram a escrever nessa casa onde eles estão agora, que é a casa da mãe do Roddy. E basicamente o projeto todo é feito com piano, guitarra, o teclado, o microfone e a voz deles, né?
I think too, like, just to answer your other question, it is not ideal to be looking at a laptop, a little laptop trying to make music. But I think if anything, I hope that people are encouraged that you don't have to have this big professional environment, to invite you to make really good music or really good art that you love. You just start with what you have and make the most of it.
Ele quis completar a resposta dizendo que é muito importante nesse momento que mesmo que você esteja numa situação desfavorável, né, com certa precariedade, né, e que você não tenha os instrumentos adequados para fazer alguma coisa, que você deve ser criativo, né? Ele está tentando incentivar os artistas e as pessoas que têm algo a dizer, né, com o que elas puderem, com o que elas tiverem. E eu acho que quando ele começa dizendo que é fruto do amor, né, acho que fica interessante pensar que tem uma relação entre as duas coisas, né? What is the biggest challenge you faced for Daddy? Did you have to learn techniques of an instrument, or did you need to buy recording equipment? Did they have a specific difficulty?
It wasn't a difficulty, but we'd never written music before together, so that was something new and challenging.
All right. Perguntei para eles se teve alguma dificuldade específica com a música dele, e eles falaram que não, mas que foi a primeira vez que eles escreveram músicas juntos, então que isso foi interessante. When you say that one of the ideas is to encourage people, could you talk a little bit more about that regarding what we're living now as an artist and having something to communicate?
Yeah, now more than ever, we need artists to communicate what they see, what they hear, and what they believe. Artists have always been the ones who communicate really honest truth, and we need that more than ever right now. And I think whatever challenges you have, there's no right time to make hard art, difficult art, you know? If difficult art is always going to be difficult to make, whether you have the best conditions or the worst conditions, you just need to start with what you know, what you feel, what you believe. And I would say right now we need it more than ever. There's going to be a lot of people who say there's too many bands, or there's too many filmmakers, or there's too many writers, or there's too many bloggers, whatever. But the truth is we need everybody more than ever to speak up and speak to the truth that they're seeing every day.
All right. Perguntei para eles, pedi para ele aprofundar um pouquinho a questão dessa vontade de encorajar isso nas pessoas, e ele disse que agora, mais do que nunca, é a hora dos artistas se juntarem e pensarem a fazer coisas e não deixar a produtividade cair. Quer dizer, absolutamente tudo, na opinião dele, que os artistas possam estar sentindo, vendo, ouvindo, é algo que pode se transformar em arte. Ele acrescenta, inclusive, que tem uma turma meio estranha, meio chata, que adora ficar dizendo que tem um excesso de artistas, um excesso de blogueiros, um excesso de músicos, e enfim, e que isso, ele acha isso uma bobagem. Ele acha que quanto mais pessoas estiverem disponíveis e a fim de falar sobre sensações, sentimentos, o que está acontecendo com o mundo, isso é importante, principalmente no momento que a gente está vivendo aqui agora. All right. It seems that there was an unusual debut on YouTube for the first clip. What happened? Did YouTube send a message saying that the content was not allowed or that it would be not monetized?
Yeah, we created that video and we shot it all ourselves and we edited it all ourselves and we put it up on YouTube. And it got a lot of attention really fast. Like all of a sudden, like in like 3 or 4 days, 3 days, there were like 28,000 views, which was crazy. We didn't expect anything like that. And then we got a notice from YouTube saying that it was being taken down off of their platform because we had violated their codes of sexuality and nudity, and they just took it down, and that was it. So it was off their site for, you know, maybe
a week or
a
something,
week.
Almost.
Então eu perguntei para eles que a gente ouviu falar que deu um pequeno problema, que eles postaram o vídeo e que depois o vídeo foi derrubado do YouTube. Ele disse que foi muito rápido a apreciação do vídeo, 28 mil likes muito rapidamente, e que o YouTube acusou de ser linguagem imprópria, tocar em assuntos de sexo, enfim, e que derrubou isso. Regarding some of the things that you talk about in the clip, and when we talk about the LGBTQA plus community and the many faces of this community, what would you say is one of the most important things that you're trying to communicate through this song?
You know, the project was mostly, it was an exercise in isolation. And it's interesting to us, I think, because the whole world is going through this. Like right now, the racial inequality and the racial injustice that America's feeling right now remains at this point an American sort of social problem that's happening, that we're dealing with right now. But the coronavirus, it struck us as this global epidemic that was so interesting that everyone in the world was going through it. So the exercise of us making music together and sort of writing love songs together and celebrating our relationship in that sort of isolation was something we felt that was relatable to everyone that was going through the epidemic. Through that, we just wanted to really just share a bunch of love songs, but it kind of transcends that and is more of a sort of a hello to like people who don't necessarily fit in the categories of gay representation that are portrayed in, say, the media. Like, we are clearly not pretty gay boys that, you know, people want to spend time, like.
Well, let me interrupt you.
ahead.
He is very pretty. I mean, look at his
Yeah,
face.
that's what
He's
I was going to
gorgeous.
say. I disagree.
Yeah, but I mean, typically we wanted to
Yeah,
just push some sort of boundaries as far as representation went in who we are and our place in the world.
All right. Let me just when in the beginning of your answer, I'll translate it when I get the next answer. You talk about how important was the proposition of talking about the quarantine and the love theme in quarantine. What exactly are you talking about? That the quarantine shouldn't depress us. That the quarantine should be transformed and something must be done within the quarantine. Is that what you're talking about?
That's an interesting point. I kind of think more it was about like the confines of the quarantine sort of put things in focus that weren't necessarily as in sharp of a focus. Like our relationship in quarantine became very intense. And we were forced to sort of look at it and deal with it in really intense terms. And it's forced us to sort of like see what's important in the world.
Alright. Então eu perguntei para eles, dentre muitos assuntos e temas que eles abordam, né, no clipe, no projeto Man on Man, essa questão da quarentena a qual ele se refere. Então ele diz que um dos principais motivos de fazer isso foi que ele percebeu que a pandemia tomou conta da vida de todo mundo, transformou a vida de todo mundo, e como é que isso fez com que a gente ficasse dentro de casa, repensando uma série de questões, uma série de valores, e no final aprender a valorizar certas coisas que a gente não valorizaria tanto. No caso deles, o que eles estão contando é que eles perceberam que tinham amor, tinham um relacionamento, e isso fez eles perceberem quão valioso isso é e passar a olhar e perceber esse relacionamento confinados dentro da quarentena em relação ao próprio sentimento. Em seguida, ele vai dizer, ele até faz uma brincadeira, que ele vai esbarrar num assunto que ele acha bastante importante quando a gente vai falar de questões LGBTQIA+, que é que ele fez uma brincadeira, ele falou, eu não sou exatamente um padrão de estética, não sou bonitinho, sarado, etc e tal, e eu acho que tem uma mídia e uma cultura, né, que coloca esse tipo de pessoa com essas características em evidência. Então, que ele quis fazer uma música, uma história, uma arte, né, um projeto que pudesse dar visibilidade para quem não é necessariamente bonito ou gostoso ou qualquer coisa do tipo. Eu mesmo prontamente disse para ele que eu discordava, e aí ele riu e o namorado também imediatamente disse, eu discordo disso, acho você bem bonito.
We're trying our best to answer short answers, but it's hard. You're asking good questions.
No problem. It's perfect. Do you understand any of what I'm saying?
We understood everything. Just kidding.
Stupid question.
I would love to learn Portuguese. I mean, I understand some words, you know, but not really any of them.
Do you know how love is in Portuguese?
Love?
Amo.
Amor. Yeah.
Amor.
Yes, exactly.
Te amo. What's that? That Tim Maia song, you know? Te amo você, que linda. You know?
Yeah, sure. Ele disse que ele estava tentando fazer um esforço danado para entender o que eu estava falando. Desculpa. Primeiro ele falou que ele estava tentando dar respostas rápidas. Se ele não estava atrapalhando, eu falei claro que não, que as respostas estavam muito legais. Eu perguntei para ele se ele sabia como é que era amor em português e o Roddy sabia a resposta. Can the audience expect a new song very soon? Do you imagine this project as an album with defined number of tracks?
We'll have another song up. I mean, I guess relatively soon. There's a lot going on, I think, just in America that it feels a little bit weird to put out stuff. There's so much put toward, you know, highlighting the racial injustice in America. So we'll kind of, it's not a right time yet, but we will put out something. We have a lot of songs actually that we will definitely put into an album when the time is right. And you know, we have a lot of songs actually, and we're not going to define how many songs go on the record because, again, I mean, we're still sort of, as best as we can, we're still quarantining, you know, like we're still trying to be socially responsible in those ways. So, you know, we'll keep making music and but yeah, who knows how many songs will be on the album, but there will be an album and there will be a lot more singles to come as well.
All right. Então eu perguntei para eles se eles pretendiam fazer outras músicas, se tinha se tem alguma música em breve para sair, como é que é a questão do projeto em relação a ser um álbum. E eles disseram que eles não têm exatamente uma opinião formada sobre isso, que claramente eles vão fazer mais músicas, mas eles estão muito sensíveis ao que está acontecendo no mundo e eles acreditam que esse é um momento que requer um olhar sobre o que acontece para que você projete, né, e distribua e publique músicas, né, que talvez se relacionem com o que está acontecendo no mundo. Eles estão com essa preocupação, eles acham que sensibilidade nesse momento, da parte de todo mundo, é uma coisa muito importante. The format of music consumption has changed.
I'll say.
And after, I mean, Corona with the problem with agglomerations and people, how do you think this will, I know that you don't have a crystal ball, but how do you think that things will, you know, wrap up at the end?
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's, yeah, it's hard to look into the future. That's what scares me so much is, for me, I love, Joey too, we love going to live shows. Like I live in New York City because I love theater. I love the opera. I love to see live shows. And I love to do anything that involves a lot of people all together, like on top of each other is my favorite place to be. So it's really horrifying to think that that's not available right now. I think really, yeah, it's not clear how it's going to change. I know it's sort of a cliche, but I feel like the best thing to hope for at this point is a vaccine.
Perguntei para ele como é que eles achavam essa questão da pandemia e como é que vai ser o futuro da música, principalmente no que diz respeito a shows e tudo mais. Ele, com um tom um pouco mais abatido, diz que ele está com muito medo e ele dá uma opinião, uma perspectiva bastante particular de que ele adora, por exemplo, uma cidade como Nova York, que tem óperas, shows, concertos, e que, por enquanto, a coisa está muito ruim e sem perspectiva, mas que ele está torcendo para que uma vacina apareça o mais cedo possível, né? Regarding still songs, what other themes do you think, apart from the love theme and the quarantine, you think you're going to be approaching in other songs or something like that?
I think we're just being honest with the process. I mean, it started out, I think naturally, Roddy and I were writing about our experience with dealing with the devastation of COVID and the worldwide response of just this tension and fear. And we're very literal with it, with our experience with it. And then I think once we were about a month in, we started observing how other parts of our life, our feelings about other things that have happened to us in the past, our belief systems, those things still exist. So now how do those things exist with COVID? How do those things interact with how we feel while we're being in isolation? And so the content then shifted to not just literal, here we're in quarantine together, but it's translated into how we were dealing with things that we experienced before this ever even happened. So yeah, it started out literal, and then it kind of ended up being a kind of not a free-for-all necessarily, but we started broadening the subject matter lyrically. So that makes sense.
Perguntei para ele. Yeah, it does. Perguntei para eles um pouquinho mais sobre as novas músicas que virão e principalmente os temas, né, que eles pretendem abordar. E, bom, ele disse que a coisa está bastante orgânica, eles estão, como na resposta anterior, muito sensíveis ao que está acontecendo no mundo, e ele vai dizer que, no primeiro momento, essa devastação que aconteceu no mundo foi talvez o primeiro fio condutor para chegar em algumas inspirações artísticas, mas que depois, num segundo momento, esse espectro alargou, porque, como eles já disseram um pouquinho na outra resposta também, quer dizer, a vida mudou e alguns princípios tiveram que mudar também. Não só princípios, talvez, de relacionamento, como eles disseram entre eles, mas da relação com a vida, com a natureza, né, com o dinheiro, com a carreira. Então, que eles estão extremamente abertos e suscetíveis a essas interferências que são completamente imprevisíveis nesse cenário atípico que a gente está vivendo. I noticed that the name Man on Man is with capital letters. Is that a reason specific for that?
We're just very big people.
All right. Perguntei para ele se tinha uma razão para o Man on Man estar sempre em letra maiúscula e ele disse que simplesmente porque eles se acham pessoas grandes. Do you consider that Man on Man as a gay empowerment project?
That's what we're aiming for, yeah, for sure.
I think we're looking to make music that we like. We're looking to show images of ourselves that we like. Roddy said a couple of times before, you know, there's a very wild, you know, as much as LGBTQIA plus people are not accepted, there is an appetite for a very monolithic type of gay person that we're kind of sick and tired of seeing. They have a place at the table. They should be, you know, in the spotlight. But I think with us, it's like there's so many other kinds of people under the rainbow, and so it's time to show them all, and that includes different styles of music and body types and age and the whole thing. We want to broaden the terms for what is acceptable in the gay and queer communities in the world.
Legal. Perguntei especificamente se eles acham que o projeto é um projeto de empoderamento da comunidade LGBTQIA+, e eles disseram que com certeza. Ele usa a expressão monolithical, querendo se referir a um projeto, a uma ideia de homem, de gay, que esbarra em muitas construções que não representam absolutamente todas as pessoas. Então a ideia do projeto é conseguir abrir e expandir esse espectro para outras pessoas que não fazem parte dessa cultura opressora de beleza e corpos, né, possam ter visibilidade. A ideia é que ele possa fazer isso através da música, da expressão corporal e através, obviamente, dos temas que ele está trazendo, né? In your Rolling Stone interview, you used I got a very interesting phrase that you said, "We're asking for an equitable playing field." I think that was a very important remark that you made. Would you care to elucidate a little bit for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at what, again, it goes back to the answer before, what people are used to seeing on the TV or on their telephone is really, when you break it down, part of the patriarchy. If you're a straight couple having sex or being sexual or showing skin, that's okay. If you're two women kissing or being sexual, that's okay. But as soon as it's two men doing the exact same thing that is acceptable, it then becomes not okay. And it's not just about being gay. I mean, there's tons and tons of evidence that Black and brown people who have millions of views on their YouTube channels are not being monetized for that traffic. So we're in a straight white man's world in the digital era, and we're saying, like, it's not fair. It's not fair to take our video down, to take other people's videos down, to not pay them what they're worth. We never started YouTube to get paid for it, and honestly, our problems aren't that big. I mean, it got taken down and it got put back up. Boo-hoo, whatever. It's not a big deal. But I think, like, gay rights is asking for, we're asking for the same rights as everybody else, and really the same kind of spirit going into our art should be appreciated in the same way. That was such a long answer. I'm so sorry. Good luck.
No problem, no problem. Eu perguntei para eles, porque na entrevista que eles deram para o Rolling Stone, ele usa em inglês a frase "We're asking for an equitable playing field", que em português seria um campo de trabalho, um campo de produção, de participação no meio virtual e artístico de equidade, né? E eu pedi para ele comentar em relação a isso. E o que ele está dizendo, ele dá exemplos de que ele sabe que tem páginas de pessoas negras, de pessoas da comunidade LGBT, que simplesmente não são monetizadas. Ele se refere a um universo controlado por homens brancos e heterossexuais, e que isso conduz absolutamente o que fica no ar, o que não fica, o que é considerado bom, o que não é, e que eles estão tentando, nesse projeto especificamente, assim como milhares de pessoas que já discutem esse assunto, né, trazer mais força para essa discussão, né? Quer dizer, trazer a possibilidade da visibilidade para todas as pessoas e não só para aquela expressão que ele se referiu da última resposta, esse monolito homem branco hétero. Let me see. All right. Can I ask one question a little back to the past? It seems that a little bit in the 1990s, Roddy, there is this happening, I think, that when you came out, and that would be really hard. I mean, I can imagine in the 1990s to do that. And would you care to comment a little bit on that experience and how this can be something very important for people who are artists and not artists to think about?
Yeah, when I came out as a gay man in the 90s, it was a very challenging time. My band was on tour with, like, Guns N' Roses at the time, and they are not they weren't, didn't strike me as the most gay friendly sort of operation. And it was sort of like witnessing that and being on tour with that and just having a sort of close up perspective on the more straight kind of like rock world and being exposed to it and knowing that I was part of it just made me want to speak out. And I remember at the time a lot of people had people in my circle, like not necessarily band members or stuff, but people were kind of trying to get me to not do that. And I just kind of followed my heart, and sort of the end of the day, it was just about sort of honesty and just sort of like sharing part of who I was. And I got to say, once that I made that decision and made that declaration, I never ever had any criticism or any backlash for it. And it just, to me, is a sort of testament that following your heart and doing sort of what is close to you and sharing it is always sort of a good direction to go.
Perguntei para ele, pedi licença para fazer uma pergunta sobre o passado e perguntei para ele como é que foi a experiência de, nos anos 90, sair do armário, se assumir, né? E como é que foi isso naquela época e como é que ele se sentiu. E ele conta que, no primeiro momento, ele pensava muito nisso e tinha até uma certa dificuldade em pensar de fato em executar isso. De uma maneira muito educada, muito sutil, muito delicada. Ele conta que muitas das tours que ele fazia era com Guns e que esse ambiente de rock, especificamente, não era o mais convidativo para isso. Não que ele tivesse sofrido algum tipo de ameaça ou qualquer coisa do tipo, mas que não era um cenário favorável. Mesmo assim, quando eu pergunto para ele por que ele fez, né, se o cenário não era favorável, ele acha que, como pessoa e artista, se tratava de pura e simplesmente uma questão de honestidade, né? Uma questão de entrar em contato com quem você é e ser honesto em relação a isso, que ele acredita que isso é uma coisa, um gesto, é um movimento muito importante. Ele não usa essa palavra, mas a impressão que eu tive que é uma espécie de autoconhecimento, né? E de poder se vincular às pessoas, entendendo quem você é, e que isso é uma coisa que ele não se arrepende absolutamente de ter feito, nem no momento que fez, e que ele só não teve absolutamente, inclusive, nenhum tipo de problema após isso, e as coisas caminharam maravilhosamente bem depois. So, 2 more questions. What are the post-quarantine plans?
You know what? We as Americans right now are sort of like, we've kind of moved on from the COVID. I mean, we're still stuck in isolation, but the biggest problem right now is the police brutality issue that we're dealing with in America. And that's sort of taken over. I think we're sort of giving that the respect that it needs right now. Once we get through that, I think we're back to COVID. And once we're back to COVID, maybe I think we'll probably release another single.
Right.
We made a video yesterday. We started creating a new video that we'll share once things get to a sort of an acceptable time and place to share music again and feel good about it. But right now, like I said, we sort of want the focus to be for us as learning white people, and as for America as a changing, growing place. We want to let that have some room to be able to change as it will.
All right. Então eu perguntei para ele quais são os planos pós-quarentena e ele disse que, e acho que ele foi bem enfático com isso, ele disse que a América, os Estados Unidos da América agora estão com um problema grave, seríssimo, que é da truculência policial, dos abusos pelos quais os cidadãos estão passando. Então esse é um assunto que todos os americanos estão focados agora para resolver, e todos os assuntos correlacionados a isso. Uma vez que esse caminho e esse assunto parecer bem encaminhado, eles vão voltar para a questão do Covid. Bem, ficar observando para conseguir se adaptar e estruturar dentro do possível o que der para fazer enquanto artistas. E contaram que lançaram um vídeo ontem que eles vão em breve postar e vão compartilhar com a gente. After the quarantine, are there any plans in mind regarding Brazil?
We would love to come to Brazil. It's a crazy thing. We on YouTube we're able to see where the most viewers are from, who've seen our video, and
really?
For some reason Brazil is really high up there. I don't know why, but it seems like we've made a connection to Brazil. which is so exciting to me. I love Brazil. It's like my favorite country. I love it there so much. And
We
yeah,
love
so,
we love good music.
yeah, it's true. Brazil is a very musical country. I've always found that. But like that would be a real goal to get to Brazil would be amazing.
It's funny. I mean, we truly did just start coming up with this band 2 months ago. We were like, this is what we're going to do while we're in quarantine. And we had zero. I mean, we were very lucky to put everything out. We didn't know how many people would like it. So the fact that, you know, people are asking us to come play, and it's just so humbling, and we are so grateful for everybody who listens to us. And it's very humbling to even get that question. I mean, we would love to come to Brazil and South America, Chile, and everywhere down there. So we would love to come down.
Eu perguntei para eles se tem planos para vir para o Brasil, e eles disseram que certamente eles dizem que tem um apreço enorme pelo Brasil, pelos brasileiros. Para surpresa deles, não do ponto de vista do gosto musical, mas do ponto de vista numérico, eles perceberam que a maioria da audiência dele é de brasileiros. Aí eu brinquei com ele dizendo que brasileiro realmente tem bom gosto musical, e ele falou assim, não tem a menor dúvida, o Brasil é um país extremamente musical, e a gente está muito feliz de saber que a gente tem esse alcance, né, de a gente chegar lá no Brasil. E o Joey falou que esse projeto é um bebê, é novo, e ele está muito feliz e humildemente satisfeito de perceber como em tão pouco tempo teve tanta aderência, e acho que ele estava se referindo principalmente ao que a gente estava falando antes, que é dos brasileiros que estão acompanhando. Então ele está dizendo que ele está extremamente grato a isso e que ele está doido para vir para o Brasil, e que assim que isso tudo permitir e essa porcaria toda acabar, que eles vão ter o maior prazer de vir para cá fazer um showzaço aqui para a gente. Well, I think there was
How
a
are
lot
you
of
guys
questions.
doing? What are you doing in COVID? Like, how are you handling it? And we know you guys have, you know, about 500,000 people who have or had the virus. I mean, what are you doing? What do you guys think?
So we have, in Brazil, we have two problems.
The president is one, yeah?
Yes, which it seems to be that he's a little bit more terrible than COVID.
Yeah.
We know what that's like.
You know, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yours isn't better.
No.
So, I mean, Brazil is in chaos. We have thousands and thousands of deaths. Hospitals are really full. And I think the worst scenario is that there is no plan. The plan is that the COVID is it's just a simple flu. He's you know, I don't want to use words, we're live in the internet, but you know what I mean. So it's complicated because governors are having a lot of problem because they need the help from the president, and we're not getting that. So there's a lot of nuisance and stupid things being done, but we're being very faithful to the quarantine. We believe that this procedure helped us a lot. We cannot even imagine if we did not do the quarantine, what would happen here in Brazil. I think the numbers would be much, much, much worse than... So I think that Brazilians, they understood. I mean, artists in Brazil, they did a lot of home concerts. The concerts had the hashtag stay at home or something like that. Mm-hmm. So many singers and bands, they entertained us from their houses so that the quarantine could be a very strict thing. So, I mean, that's at least a good thing that we have.
That's a good start.
Yeah. So now it seems that we're going to reopen like everywhere else in the world in phases. So I think that it seems that things are going to get very slowly back to normal.
That's good.
Maybe so. Maybe.
That's good.
Yeah. So I hope everything in the US gets sorted out. I think that our countries, they have much things in common. And I think there are people that like themselves, and we are both coping with very specific leaders. So I think that even though we're many miles away, we have to be together and face this terrible situation together. And I think that we'll be able to do that. And maybe through music and through art, we're going to be able to do that. So thank you very much for your time, for being with us tonight.
Joaquin, thank you for having us. That was
Thank
really
you.
fun to talk with you.
So fun.
Yes, and I hope I want to meet you guys one day in live, like in person.
I'm sure we will.
I think that'll happen.
All right. So
care.
stay safe. And
Thanks everybody for watching too.
Yeah,
So
thanks
sweet.
you guys for listening.
We love all of you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.